What's going on? It's Juvan Johnson here. You're watching episode number 68 of About 10 Minutes. As you can see, I'm outside. I'm in the midst of nature, around nature. The sun is still coming down, depending on how I move, so you just have to excuse that. But yes, episode 68 of About 10 Minutes, and today I want to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of those things that is very important for us as Christians to do, to make sure that we're forgiving. Jesus Christ is the example, and so it's important that we take that into an account as we live our lives. If we messed up on something, it could be easy to ask for forgiveness or to want God to forgive us and be like, God, please forgive me, and then want to move on and move forward. But if somebody does us wrong, sometimes there can be a tendency to want to hold on to that and hang it over their head and that kind of thing. And one thing that I want to make sure when I address this topic is that I'm clear on is it's important to use wisdom and not to put yourself in certain situations. For instance, if you're walking home from school and somebody that they're like, hey, come over here, I got something in this bucket, I want to show this to you, and then you walk over there and it's mud in a bucket and they pour it on you, and then like the next day they do the same thing, and the third day in a row they keep doing the same thing. Obviously I would sit there and say, like, don't walk up to the person, take a different route, that type of thing. So I'm not sitting there saying that we should just put ourselves in situations where we're in harm's way, but basically my point is, if somebody makes a mistake, if they do something wrong, and they ask for forgiveness, it's very important that that we forgive them and move forward. That may not necessarily mean that you interact with them the same type of way, depending on what happened. Sometimes it may not be good for certain interactions to take place, but it's important for you within your heart to really forgive that person. And that's the thing. That's one of those things where we have to look at within ourselves and say, have I really forgiven this person? It's not just something that you do outwardly, but it's something that we should do inwardly. And so sometimes the question may be, well, how do I forgive somebody? If they really did this, they did this to me and it really hurt me. They did something that they really betrayed my trust. These different types of things. How do I forgive them? Maybe you've been in that situation where it's like you want to forgive somebody, but how do you forgive them? Well, one of the things I would say is to really think about what Jesus did for us. To think about the times that we've missed it, the times we've done things wrong, and how God had grace and mercy upon us. That's a huge thing. And so really to apply that, even within the midst of our lives, and to pray to God about it, to ask Him to help you in those situations, to get in your word, to look at examples in the Bible. If we hold a grudge, the person we're hurting is ourselves. Because for one, if we're continually replaying things over, something that somebody did to us, and we're still mad about this, and we're still angry and bitter about it, at the end of the day, we have that on our minds when we can have other things on our mind. The Bible lets us know that we should think on things that are pure. We shouldn't be occupying our mind with bitter thoughts and things like that. Maybe you went through something when you was like in the 8th grade or something like that. Maybe something happened and some people did you wrong. It's important to move forward and not just to keep reliving that over and over and over again, because if you do, it can stop you from advancing and carrying out other things. Different people go through different things. We go through challenges in life, but it's important not to stay frozen in that certain time of your life if something happened, but to keep moving forward. And I know it can be challenging depending on the situation, but we have God to go to, and He can help us. He can help us with anything we're dealing with. And so it's important that we're honest and open, because God already knows what we're dealing with anyways, but it's important that we're honest and open, and that we confide in Him about it, and He'll help us to get over those things. And so it's important to really have that type of mindset, though, to really remember that God forgave me, I need to forgive others. God forgave me, I need to forgive others. God forgave me, I need to forgive others. On the flip side of that, obviously, if we've done something wrong to somebody, then obviously, we should go to them and ask them for forgiveness, and we need to repent of that. We shouldn't keep doing the same thing over and over again. If we know that we've caused somebody an issue in their life, some type of problem, we should repent of that, ask for forgiveness, and continue to move forward. So that's an important thing about forgiveness, not to get caught up in a certain time of our lives. If we make a mistake, if you've done something wrong, not to get caught up in continue to beat yourself up about it, but to sit there and go to the person about it, ask for forgiveness, go to God about it, and then move forward. Sometimes it may not be for you to stay connected to that individual depending on the situation. Sometimes it may be for you to be connected to that individual. So however God moves, it's important to let God do it, to let God do it. So, I wanted to hit on that.
When I hear the word forgiveness, like say you done somebody wrong and they forgive you for it, It's like they're taking back they're taking back what you did to them, and basically saying that it's in the past now.
Okay.
It's not gonna bother them anymore. So that means you should leave it in the past. Don't bring it back up. Don't keep bringing it back to their remembrance.
And forgiveness to me is letting go and giving it to God. Whatever burdens, whatever pain you having, giving it to God and allow Him to take over your hurts and your feelings. That's what forgiveness is to me. And let Him bless you.
Forgiveness is a part of your healing. Forgiveness is what you do out of the sincerity of your heart. When you think about what Christ did for all the sins that we have done, will do, forgiveness, it runs very deep.
Now every time I write a song, I write it with a cause. Got ability through Jesus Christ to get it to the lost. Putting in the work, gang, God is like my boss. In my mind, I can see it now, Christ up on the cross. But He rose, as we all know, defeated every foe. Staying on the go, got me safe from head to toe. Over and again, been forgiven of our sin.
It's like 6:49. Y'all see me? Is it dark? I know. So I woke up like early. I've been up for maybe since like 3 something, maybe 3 or 4 something, sometime around then, and was doing some other things, and I decided to go ahead and get me some McDonald's breakfast. What you got in the bag there, son? So it's a different day, but I made me a different type of stop. It's still in the food stop category, but I went to a store, got me that vitamin water, and then I got me one of those Metrex Big Colossal 100 meal replacement bars. This is the Super Cookie Crunch. Super Cookie Crunch. As you can see, I got on my Chauncey Billups shirt. You know, Chauncey is back in Detroit. He re-signed with the Pistons. You know, he was back with them some time ago, and then, you know, he was gone, and then, you know, he's back. So it's good to see him back with the Pistons and whatnot, and, you know, I've had this shirt for a long time. So anyhow, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about some things when you have a sweet tooth, if you ever have a sweet tooth. Because, just so you know, I don't eat McDonald's breakfast every day. You know, I talk about it and whatnot on the show. I've talked about it in the past, but I don't eat that every day. You know, depending on how things are going, sometimes I eat it more frequently than others. But like even recently, like over the past month, I may have had McDonald's breakfast maybe like twice in the past month. So I don't eat it every day, just so you know. But one thing I try to do is I try to be mindful of the things that I eat. But at the same time, sometimes I do, you know, have a taste for sweets. And so kind of want to talk to you about like some alternatives you can have, because obviously there's a lot of sweets out there like donuts, cookies, cake, things I like, you know, things I definitely like. But there's some alternatives that are good alternatives, you know, that you still can take in and get some type of nutritional value. And the thing about it is, I'm going to say this up front, I'm only going to list a few things, and some people may say, well, there are healthier things to eat than what you're talking about, and I'm not saying that there aren't, but these are some things. One of the things I just mentioned was that Metrex Big Colossal 100. If you got that craving for like a candy bar and you want to open something up like a candy bar, this right here, they taste pretty good, and they got some nutritional value to it as well. Another thing that you can eat that's sweet is fruit. You know, whether you have bananas, apples, oranges, you know, strawberries, blueberries, it's a lot of different variations. You can do it in a smoothie if you want something to drink. That's another alternative, you know, when you want something sweet. And then here's another one, you know, if you want something that's like hot and warm, you can get you an English muffin, like the cinnamon raisin English muffin. You know, you can cut it in half, put it in the toaster, let it toast, and then, you know, after it pops up, get you some margarine and some honey. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? That's something you can try. Another thing is trail mix. Now, we kind of going back to the fruit family in the sense of what I'll be talking about. They have like the fruit and nut trail mix. So you get like the dried fruit. So they may have like the dried pineapples or papayas or, you know, raisins, that different type of stuff. You know, that's another thing you can go to, and you can get you some nutritional value in there. It's definitely good to eat, you know, healthy and get you some good nutrients in there. Get you your nutrients in so you can be strong and have your energy, you know, to take care of your daily tasks that you got to do. You know, I can remember being in health class and, like, you know, the teacher basically talking about eating healthy. And then basically, I'm kind of paraphrasing this, but, you know, there's times where you can eat the food that's not quite as healthy, but make the healthy food your staple, you know. And so, you know, there's a lot of different options. Obviously, there's a lot more things that I just mentioned. But if you had that sweet tooth, you know, there's just some things you can have that can help you out with that sweet tooth. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for watching episode number 68 of About 10 Minutes. blessed week.